When a high school athlete says that they want to run track in college, they almost always mean that they want to do it in Division I. It's where Matthew Bowling ran past everyone, twice, indoors in the 200-meter dash, before going on to win a world gold medal in the mixed 4x4, and where Will Sumner dominated the 800-meter to become an NCAA champion and turn pro immediately after his freshman season. Both of them were teammates for the Georgia Bulldogs and validated their 5-star recruit rankings by winning a whole bunch of races the entire time they were in college. But if you were paying very close attention to the all-college leaderboards last season, you would have noticed that all the fast runners weren't only in Division I. In fact, the two fastest men in all of college for the 800, behind Will Sumner, were in Division II. One of them has already transferred up to the SEC to compete against the Georgia Bulldogs, but the other is still running in D2 right now. And the only reason why I noticed is because he's once again ranked inside the top 10 for all of college in the 800. Wes Ferguson runs the 800-meter for the University of Nebraska-Kearney in Division II. Not to be confused with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, which is in Division I and in the Big Ten. And the reason why he's at Kearney is simple. He was never supposed to be this fast, especially not in a D2 uniform. If he was, he'd probably be a Cornhusker right now. The truth is that Wes Ferguson has already won a bunch of national championships at the D2 level. And when you consider that Will Sumner ain't in college anymore, he has a legitimate shot to do the unthinkable and finish this entire season as the fastest man in the 800 in all of college, regardless of division. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. First things first, I want to make it clear that I'm not making this up, because Wes Ferguson was third on the all-college leaderboards outdoors in 2023. The only reason nobody notices is because he runs for the Nebraska-Kearney Lopers. Yes, that is their mascot. So you've got to see Wes as a favorite to be at the top of the charts when it's all done. But his journey to the top is proof of everything that's wrong with track and field recruiting at the D1 level. At the high school level in Nebraska, Wes Ferguson was pretty good. He actually would have rated as a high 3-star recruit on SCArecruiting.com at the end of his junior year. Obviously, that's good enough to go D1, at least somewhere, but it's not quite what the Nebraska Cornhuskers are looking for in the Big Ten Conference. Schools like them want 4 or 5-star level recruits. He only had 2 other D1 options in state to consider. One is Creighton, which is so underfunded as a program. They're basically a distance track program for the men. That's just code for cross country only, with a few other meets added into the budget. And the other is the University of Omaha. And if you don't know much about them on the track, they're the reason. They don't have a men's track team at all. Simply put, Wes Ferguson was gonna have to leave his state if he was gonna get a legit shot to compete in D1. And evidently, many of the D1 schools that could have used a 3-star runner like him weren't coming to the state of Nebraska to find him. As a senior, he actually won his state meet in the 400 and the 800 meter races and would have bumped himself up to a 4-star level recruit. But remember, junior year is what determines your recruiting stock, because the signing period starts in November of his senior year. His state meet wasn't even until May of the following year. So for that reason, Wes Ferguson took the best option available to run for the Nebraska-Kearney Lopers. And I honestly can't tell you much about their team. They're solid in their D2 conference, but don't get pretty close to winning it all that often. But the moment he got there, he proved he was way better than anyone gave him credit for. As a freshman in 2021, he ran a new PR in the 800 to win the MIAA conference indoors in the 800, and then finished 7th overall at the D2 national meet. Remember, this is his first indoor season ever. He got hurt outdoors that season, but came back indoors to win the conference again. But then, he won the D2 national meet in the 800 indoors. And outdoors was exactly the same story. Win the conference, win the nation. The only reason he didn't repeat in 2023 indoors is because someone else in D2 ran faster than Wes's PR in the final. And just like Wes, they both could have competed for medals in D1. But outdoors, you already know what happened. Wes won the 800 in 1:45.56 seconds. That was a brand new PR in the third fastest time in all of college that year. And all of that brings us to what just happened, because by now, Wes Ferguson must be aware that the transfer portal is actually a thing, but he simply chose not to use it. He returned back to Nebraska-Kearney and did what he does. For his second 800 of the indoor season, he ran one of the top 10 fastest times again in all of college. It's not even close to his PR, but the point is that it doesn't need to be. Wes Ferguson is legit. He's one of the fastest runners in college right now, and for that matter, he has been for years. He's won 3 NCAA championships in the 800 in D2, and he's never lost an 800 final in his conference. The only problem is that Wes Ferguson was never really supposed to be doing this at Nebraska-Kearney in the first place. No offense to them, he always belonged in D1. He was a 3-star recruit whom nobody came to find out in Nebraska. Not even the Cornhuskers, who are a big-time D1 program in his home state. So he played the hand that he was dealt, and now he goes out to win almost every race that he ever gets a chance to enter. I don't know what the future of Wes Ferguson's career will look like, but I do know that I think I've seen this movie before. Wes Ferguson is on pace to win another D2 national title, which will no doubt keep filling up his trophy case. But the only title that really matters at this point for him to compete for is the fastest man in college. And there's hardly anyone around who can stop him from claiming that title. That's even if they run track in Division 1 on scholarship. SCA track and field gear is here. Fast is a lifestyle, and what you wear should reflect that. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.